NKJV, who himself bore our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, having died to sins, might live for righteousness, by whose stripes you were healed. And he himself bore our sins in his body on the cross, so that we might die to sin and live to righteousness, for by his wounds you were healed. Who our sins himself did bear in his body upon the tree, that to the sins having died, to the righteousness we may live, by whose stripes you were healed. He personally carried our sins in his body on the cross, so that we can be dead to sin and live for what is right. By his wounds you are healed. He personally carried our sins in his body on the cross, so that we might die to sin and live for what is right. By his wounds you are healed. He personally carried our sins in his body on the cross, so that we might die to sin and live for what is right. By his wounds you are healed. Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sin, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed. By whose stripes ye were healed. He himself carried our sins in his body on the cross, so that we would be dead to sin and live for righteousness. Our instant healing flowed from his wounding. Who himself bore our sins in his body on the tree, so that we may die to sins and live to righteousness, by whose wounds you were healed. This is the kind of life you've been invited into, the kind of life Christ lived. He suffered everything that came his way, so you would know that it could be done, and also know how to do it step by step. He never did one thing wrong, not once said anything amiss. They called him every name in the book, and he said nothing back. He suffered in silence, content to let God set things right. He used his servant body to carry our sins to the cross, so we could be rid of sin, free to live the right way. His wounds became your healing. You were lost sheep with no idea who you were or where you were going. Now you're named and kept for good by the shepherd of your souls. He personally bore our sins in his body on the tree, that we might die to sin and live to righteousness. By his wounds you have been healed. He himself bore our sins in his body on the tree, that we might die to sin and live to righteousness. By his wounds you have been healed. Christ carried our sins in his body on the cross, so we would stop living for sin and start living for what is right. And you are healed because of his wounds. Yeah.